Hello, this is Dr. Mears. Today we're going to be describing data and we're going to be constructing a grouped frequency table and a histogram. This task or activity is about discrete data and it's about European shoe sizes. Discrete data is data that can be counted or data that can take only specific values. Here's our scenario. Did you know that European and United States shoe size are different? European shoe sizes are represented using larger numbers and no half sizes. For example, if you wear a woman's size 9 in the US, it is a size 40 in Europe. Check out the nifty table below. I included this table. I thought it was pretty fun. There's men's and there's women's. And you can also see not only the US size, but also the inches that your foot is, and then the European size. So if you're looking at, I gave the example of the woman's size 9, which is here. That means that in inches, the size of the foot is 9 7/8 of an inch. And the European size would be 40. All right, let's go down to see what our task is. Our task, we gathered data on the number of pairs of shoes of each size sold in a shoe store and recorded their European shoe size. Create a grouped frequency table and a histogram. European shoe size is known as discrete data because it only takes on specific values. There are no half sizes. Your data. So we have a lot of data. So what we need to do with this data, we can't just go and plot 15, plot 17, plot 18. We need a strategy here. So we need to make a group frequency. So we're going to make groups of equal sizes. So I'm going to look through and I see that this data is in increasing order, which is really nice. So you can thank Dr. Mears for that. Myself, thank you. You're welcome. So your data, it starts with 15 and it ends with 44. And there shouldn't be a comma here or anything. A little period. So what we need to do is make groups of equal sizes. So I'm going to start on a fresh piece of paper, and I'm going to start our grouped frequency table. And just a simple table. We're going to have shoe size and frequency. And we know we're going to be starting with 15 and ending with 44 because that's what's there. And we really have to go through how many numbers are there between 15 and 44, and then we have to do groups. So let's see, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 15 to 19, this is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's 5 numbers, including 15 and 19. So we can go 20 through 24. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Again, 5 numbers. This is working out. 25 to, you guessed it, 29. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. 30 through 34. 35 to 39. And 40 to 44. So there we go. So we have equal groups, 5 numbers within each group, 15 to 19, 20 to 24, 25 to 29, 30 to 34, and 35, 39, 40 to 44. And what we're going to have to do is within each group, 15 and 19, we have to go back to our data and count to see how many are in that group. So we have 1, 2, 3 that are in 15 to 19. So we're going to go back. There's 3. How many are in 20 to 24? So let's see. I like to kind of put a little line here because that's where I'm going to stop. So I put a little line there. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 are in 20 to 24. We are going to go from 25 to 29. So that stops here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 are there. 30 all the way to 34. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 35 to 39 is next. 35, wow, get a lot of 39s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And last but not least, 40 to 44. Stops here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Looks like we got all of our data. We could add this up and then count to make sure that we have it all. I'm not going to do that right now. You can. And so that is our grouped frequency table. That means shoe size 15 to 19. We know 3 people bought shoes sizes 15 to 19. 20 to 24, 9 people bought sizes 20 to 24, 25 to 29, 11 people. We see the largest group, 30 to 35 to 39, which is 23 people bought shoe sizes 35 to 39. And so since we have our grouped frequency table, we are going to go on and we are going to make our histogram. And I'm not going to do it on graph paper because I'm afraid the graph paper with the video it'll make your eyes blurry or weird, or just scared that you won't be able to see it well. So I'm just going to make one freehand. This is called a sketch. I'm going to sketch it, so it's not going to be perfect. I didn't use a ruler. I'm just sketching it for you. When you do a histogram, I do want it to be on 1 centimeter graph paper. I do want you to use a ruler. But this is really just to show you how to construct upper bounds and lower bounds and where you start, so on and so forth. So the frequency is always here. And here are the shoe size groups. And we know we have 23. That's our largest frequency. So we're going to have to count, let's count by, let's just say 5s. That won't be large. Well, that's okay. And our shoe size, let's go by, let's say 10s. We can do that. Oh, we can do 5s too. 5. Now what IB is going to do on their paper 1 and paper 2s, they'll tell you what each 1 centimeter should represent. So that's really nice because they give you the scale. So just pay attention to that. Again, right now I'm just doing a sketch because I want to show you how to get the upper and lower boundaries. So in order to do a histogram, we need upper and lower boundaries. So let's see. Let's first start with our lower boundary. So our lower boundary here, we have to actually go 1 number back, which is going to be 14. So this would have been the highest one here. Actually, that 14 would have been there. If we did do a lower shoe size than 15, it would have been 14. So there would be 14 here. So to get the lower boundary of this first group, we need to get the number that would have been last. We're going to take these 2 numbers, lower, and we're going to add them up and divide by 2. So we need that middle point. So it's going to be 14 plus 15 divided by 2. And that's going to give us 14.5. So that is the lower boundary for that group right here. The lower boundary for this group right here, we take the 20 and the 19, and we do the same thing. So we're going to do 19 plus 20 divided by 2, and that's 19.5. You do see a pattern, so the lower boundary for here would be 24 plus 25 divided by 2, so 24.5. It is the middle number, so then we go 29.5, 34.5, and 39.5. So these are our lower boundaries. So you take the lower number here and the number that would have come before it, add them up and divide by 2. So those are our lower boundaries. Our upper boundaries, you do the same type of thing. Instead of looking at these 2 numbers, what you do is you look at the higher number. So let me erase this. So for this group right here, the higher number was 19. So we're going to do 19, and then we're going to look at the next one. So we are taking 19 and 20 again, but this is for the upper boundary. Add them up and divide by 2. So that's going to give us 19.5. So for this group, our upper boundary is 19.5. For this group, we look at the 24, which is the larger number, and then we look at the number next, 25, and we do the same thing, 24 plus 25 divided by 2, and that's going to give us 24.5. So the upper boundary here would be 24.5. So this one, the lower boundary is 19.5 and the upper boundary is 24.5. Here it'd be 29.5, here it'd be 34.5, here it'd be 39.5, and here we would take 44, and notice there's no number here. The next number would be 45 if we went on to create another group bigger, and so we would have to do the same thing. 44 plus 45 divided by 2, and that's 44.5. So this is the lower boundary for this group. This is the upper boundary for this group, and that's what we're going to graph. We always start at the lower boundary and we go to the higher boundary. So for this first one, for this first bar, I'm going to do 14.5. I'm going to go down here. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be right next to 15. Oops, sorry for the shaking. So I'm going to be right next to 15. And then I'm going to go up and I'm going to stop at 19.5. And I'm going to go to 3. Again, this is not perfect. I'm just showing that I started at the lower boundary, which was 14.5, and I ended at the upper boundary, which was 19.5. And as you notice, this is 19.5. That's where my next one starts. My next one ends at 24.5. So we're going to go down here. So where this ended, that's where we start for the next one, 19.5, and then to 24.5, which is about there. And we're going to go to a height of 9, because that's how many are in there. So now we're going to be visibly being able to see the height of each bar. So I ended here at 24.5, and guess what? That's where we start for the next one, 24.5, and we end at 29.5. So there is definitely a pattern here, and I am actually going to go up to 11. So the bars are touching. And then let's see, I ended at 29, so then I'm going to go to 34.5. I'm going to go all the way up to 14. Then I'm going to go to 39.5. I'm going to go all the way up to 23. Again, this is just a sketch. I wish, oops, I'm sorry. My paper was down. You're probably like, move the camera. This is just a sketch, so I could have made these a little bit more spread out, maybe counted by ones. However, it's just a sketch. I wanted to show you. I started at 34.5. I'm going to 39.5. And now I'm going to be going from 39.5 to 44.5, which is my last one. And my upper boundary was 44.5. And I'm going to go to a height of 19. There we go. And there is my histogram. Notice the bars touch. I start at the lower boundary, I end at the upper boundary, and then I continue on from there. You could visibly see now that between 34.5 and 39.5, that does have the most. So this was a height of 23. And if you would like to put the heights in, that's a nice little addition here too. For your internal assessments, you are going to be using either Excel or Google Sheets. So they will be doing graphs for you here. But you now know how to do it. So this has been creating a grouped frequency table and then using that grouped frequency table to create a histogram. And we're just going to title this Euro shoe size. Euro shoe sizes. I have titles, I have labels, frequency, and I have a visual representation. I hope this helped. This has been Dr. Mears. This is your first video of the year. Congratulations. Hopefully these will be helpful to you. Thank you. Have a good day.